guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we're continuing with our health and beauty series. So this is episode 2 and we're talking all about vitamin A today.
So vitamin A is a really important fat-soluble vitamin and antioxidant, and there are so many benefits to getting enough vitamin A in your diet. Today we're just going to talk about the 3 top benefits of vitamin A. First one being skin health. So vitamin A is really important for the skin when we're talking about the complexion, how complexion looks and how skin actually turns over, like that good healthy shedding. When you don't have enough vitamin A, you can get very hardened and dry skin. Also, it can contribute to other conditions such as acne, where you're having bacterial infections and things with the skin.
So it's really going to help with that turnover of the skin cells.
And like the pores that become clogged and things as well.
So because of that property, it's also really helpful for people that have keratosis pilaris, or it might otherwise be known as chicken skin. So that's basically when you get those bumps on the back of your arms. And that's not to say that it will cure everyone, but for a lot of people they do find that bumping up the vitamin A makes a big difference for their skin.
And vitamin A is also known, interestingly, to boost collagen production. So, getting that extra antioxidant boost and more collagen is a natural way to slow the aging process when it comes to our skin. And interestingly, actually, I also read that whilst it's helping your skin like on the outside, it also helps internally with all the organs, like the linings of the gut wall and everything like that.
So the second big benefit of vitamin A is that it helps with our eye health. So in many cultures it was known that vitamin A would help cure blindness. So now we know these days that a deficiency in vitamin A causes blindness.
And it helps really with protecting that surface of the eye. So if you want to enjoy good eye health throughout your whole life, it's really important to make sure you get enough vitamin A.
So there is some truth behind the carrots being good for your eyes, but carrots aren't always the best source of vitamin A, as we will talk about shortly.
And the third benefit of vitamin A and getting enough vitamin A is it really boosts your immune system. So there are many functions that our immune system has to undergo that use and draw on our vitamin A. So if we don't have enough, we can run into chronic infections, chronic diseases, but also like just annoying things like your colds and flus. So it's really important, coming up to winter and cold season, to make sure you're getting enough vitamin A, and also for your long-term health, just make sure that you're getting enough, because it can lead to, some more serious and nasty chronic infections and conditions down the track. So before we get stuck into how much vitamin A that we need every day, how to go about that, we want to chat quickly about sources and the 2 different types of vitamin A, and that is retinoids or preformed vitamin A, and then beta-carotene.
So preformed vitamin A or retinol is found in animal products. So this is the more active and bioavailable form of vitamin A. So we find it in things like liver and eggs and full-fat dairy.
So things like ghee and butter are some good sources as well. And then you have beta-carotene, which is found in plant sources. So things like carrots, which we have been told are high in vitamin A, other things like sweet potato, and then all your dark leafy greens. Then many other fruits and vegetables have amounts of beta-carotene in there. And they actually need to be converted to the active form of vitamin A or retinol. So it's not really accurate to say that they're high in vitamin A, but they're high in beta-carotene, which is then converted to vitamin A. And we all differ in how our bodies convert. Some of us convert really efficiently, really well, and others, we have a negligible amount of vitamin A being converted from beta-carotene. So it's just good to be mindful that just because you're eating a lot of fruits and vegetables high in beta-carotene, it doesn't mean that you're converting efficiently and getting enough vitamin A. So it's all sort of up to you to experiment with your body and how you feel and see what's working for you.
So the American RDA for vitamin A for adult women that are not breastfeeding or that are not pregnant is 700 micrograms. It's also worth mentioning that that's kind of on the low side. So a lot of holistic doctors will recommend that you actually go higher than that, and that's a pretty low amount of vitamin A really. It's also important to be aware that vitamin A has an upper limit, so when we consume too much vitamin A A that is definitely toxic. That does tend to scare people a little, but having low vitamin A is also not good for us. So it's really about finding that happy medium, not being, crazy and supplementing too much. Actually, we don't recommend supplementing with straight vitamin A, but
Well,
also
yeah, I
dropping
think it's
too
hard.
low.
I think it's hard to really give yourself a vitamin A toxicity without supplementing. I mean, I have heard of people in history being poisoned by eating too much livers, but it was of certain animals that had very high vitamin A. But yeah, otherwise, when you're eating whole foods, it's pretty difficult to give yourself a toxicity. But it is important to be mindful with that for vitamin A.
Especially, I guess, if you are pregnant.
So a good way to meet your body's daily needs for vitamin A would be, obviously liver is a great way to get vitamin A. Even 1 ounce of liver would hit your requirements for the day quite easily. And then assuming that you convert well, I think a cup of carrots or a whole sweet potato would get you to the limit. But then again, you got to know your own body whether or not you are getting the conversion. So it's always good, I think, if you do eat animal products to supplement with good quality eggs, ghee, or if you eat full fat dairy of good quality, that's important as well. And then obviously liver, if you can get into some liver. We have some recipes for
Pate.
Yeah, we have a pate recipe that's really easy for beginners to start eating liver below, but you can also get liver in freeze-dried capsules, which I've taken before.
Easy way to get your liver in. So when it comes to supplementing with vitamin A, we wouldn't actually recommend going out and buying straight vitamin A supplements. So because vitamin A is fat soluble, we do have to be a little bit more careful with how much you're supplementing because it can build up really quickly. It stores in our body, so it's not like, say, a water soluble vitamin where it's kind of if you have too much, it'll just be passed through your system. So it will be absorbed and stored in your body. Our favorite sources of vitamin A is through food supplements. So these are kind of like actual foods, but we take them as a supplement. So things like cod liver oil are really rich in vitamin A, but they're also really rich in the things that vitamin A needs to work. So vitamin A, vitamin D, and vitamin K2. So these really work synergistically to have positive effects on the body.
And then that's the only supplement I can think of other than if you wanted to take the freeze-dried liver in the capsule, which is obviously food-based supplement.
A good option.
You could eat it as a steak of liver if you wanted, in a freeze-dried capsule.
So those are your 2 options if you're looking to supplement your vitamin A.
And it's important to note if you're reaching your vitamin A through food, which we definitely recommend, you want to make sure though that you're getting a bit of fat with it. Since vitamin A is a fat soluble vitamin, you need a little bit of fat to actually absorb it. So if you're having, salads and things, you want to be putting oil, like olive oil, to dress it, or even eating it with something fatty like olives or avocado or animal protein.
Alright guys, so that wraps up our 2nd episode of our health and beauty series. So that was all about vitamin A. So if you have any questions at all, don't forget to leave them below and we'd be happy to answer. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And other than that, we will see you in our next one. Bye guys.
Bye.